More than a degree. Every year, thousands of students graduate from Ugandan universities, degrees in hand, but in today's job market, that's just the beginning. The competition is stiff, and for many, a degree alone won't cut it.
Be disciplined to survive those situations. And more importantly, is to be confident that...
With youth unemployment above 17.9% and underemployment affecting even more, those who take on extra training, internships, and fieldwork are finding faster, better career paths. We reached out to one of the organizers of these initiatives, the Media Challenge Initiative. This initiative gives journalism students a platform to compete in newsroom simulations and also obtain mentorship from professionals in the media industry.
Benefit from participating in our programs by getting a chance to have hands-on skills in radio, TV, and online journalism. So we have a program which is the Inter-University Media Challenge, where we go to different universities and other journalism institutions, and we train students on how to report for TV, radio. But we also give them a chance to audition and showcase their talent in news anchoring.
Mr. Mwonge Cyrus, the commissions officer at MCI, highlighted that many graduates now work in top newsrooms because of this hands-on training.
We've had a number of students who have successfully gone on to acquire employment opportunities in a number of media houses. So for more than 10 years of the Inter-University Media Challenge, we've had students who go through the fellowship program, the Media Challenge Academy program, and they are employed in a number of media houses. So some notable names could be from NBS, we have Shamim Nabakoza, we have Tracy Kansime. We have had people who have transitioned, such as Julius Buchana, who transitioned from general.
He also went on to give an insight on what they are doing to ensure student participation in these initiatives.
That can be done is to do activations. So through Switch Africa, we are in position to do activations at different journalism institutions. And these activations, they get to interact with a number of people that have gone through the different MCI programs under the broader MCI alumni community. So at the activations, we aim at offering skills sharing sessions whereby students can come and learn a skill in one day. Then they're in position to practice it throughout the semester or throughout their year. So this way it places.
In addition, Mwonge educates on the challenges they face while running these initiatives.
A low intake of journalism students into different universities. So over the years, we've had numbers decreasing of journalism students who are partaking on the course. So over time, you go to an institution and you'll find 10, 15 students, yet you've invested all these resources to go to and visit this university. So over time, students benefit from the skills, but not everyone is in position to benefit because of inaccessibility, and also some of the universities don't have the journalism facilities to facilitate the different students that they have. Then we also face a challenge of limited partnerships. So through different partnerships, even in case we don't have any partnerships, we are not in position to access some journalism institutions that are not like within Kampala or around the metropolitan area. Then we also face a challenge of equipment. We share these skills with the journalism students, but they don't have the equipment to go hands-on with the different.
It calls on current students to engage and informs them about the 2025 call for students to take part in the initiative.
Hello students, we are super excited that this 2025 we are coming back to the universities for the Inter-University Media Challenge competitions, as well as you'll see us coming through with Switch Africa for those different activations. Thank you.
Mrs. Amina Birara, a parent who is also an economist, believes part-time work can affect academic performance.
The parents, we worry so much because we want our children to excel. So when they go out there and start working, you know your child cannot get the first class, second upper, because he's working. And the way money was made, if you start getting money, you start earning. You say, let me get the money, then I'll do that course next time. Maybe I can ask for a dead semester and I make some money.
She strongly disagrees with the idea of students engaging themselves in activities or part-time work related to their field of study.
A week or slow. If they go out to do, maybe if they are studying in the morning, they go out in the afternoon to read, to work. By the time they come back, they are tired, so they can't concentrate. Then that impacts on their performance.
In class.
Because you find that I have a class starting at 2. So the whole morning I'm free. So I go and work. I work from 7 to maybe 1. Then 2 I have to be in class. By the time they come to class, they are tired. They can't concentrate. That impact on their performance. But another thing is the opportunity cost. Some children or students may engage in other things, like the peer pressure. So also their performance. Their performance reduce because of that time lag they have.
However, she supports internships and exchange programs that build problem-solving skills, teamwork, and exposure to professional certifications like ACCA and CPA.
It's good to do internship experience out there from class to know what exactly the world wants and how to deal with the hands-on than the theory. You need the practice of what you study.
Mercy Chomhendo, a finalist journalism student, highlights that joining the Cameras for Girls initiative opened new doors for her.
You're getting new friends from different universities. You're getting a larger network. Your social capital is increasing by the minute because you're associating with people with different experiences, different perspectives, something that would enrich you as an individual in your conversations, in how you do things, because I believe there are some camera tricks that were not taught to us in the program, but I learned from the fellows I studied with, like Molan Joyce, like Miriam, in that cohort of ours of 2022. Yes.
Chomhendo educates on the reasons which prevent students from joining these initiatives.
Some of them happen during school season. You're not in holidays, you have coursework, you have the assignments from the fellowship, because at least I know for Cameras for Girls, we had assignments to give to our mentor at that time, who is Mrs. Amina Mohammed. So the time can really be distress students, then also interest, because there are people I applied with in the program and they dropped out and returned their cameras because they couldn't take it anymore. The pressure, so interest also matters. Yeah, so I think those are the things that mainly.
She acknowledges these activities as having enabled her to gain practical media skills, mentorship and connections, and even sees herself teaching others in the future.
Skills. I learned how to use a camera before we could learn about using them, at campus. Yeah, so the experience was good. The skills, then the exposure, I got to network with people that are beyond, my class. I was a year one student at the time I joined the program. Yeah, so I got to know some year fours, and sometimes how they say your network is your network. And sometimes these people have come through for me in different ways, if they have a gig, making some money on the side, comes from such people who know me because I have participated in the fellowship with them. Yeah. The other thing I must...
On the other side of lecturers, senior lecturer Dr. Ivan Lukanda says internships are not just a university requirement, they increase starting salaries and career clarity.
Internship is a very, very important activity. There are instances where some students have been able to get a higher first pay because they already had an internship. So if you've had an internship, some organizations can consider that that's part of your work experience. And therefore, when you're negotiating your first pay, you are more likely to get a higher starting salary than someone who has not had an internship.
He goes on to emphasize the importance of field-related activities.
Internship in a newspaper or in a radio or at a TV station, when they come back to class in their final year, they are more likely to perform better than someone who has not had that kind of practice. It also enables students to relate when they come back to class. They are able to relate what they were doing in the field with what they are learning now. In other words, class will become more meaningful to them than before they went to the field. On the other hand,
he gives an insight that some students still struggle to balance academics and work.
There's a fourth year student who was on the verge of dropping out because he did internship at one of the big TV stations, and when he came back to university this year, he couldn't balance. He was in the field all the time. Because he was in the field all the time, he wasn't submitting courseworks. I am aware that he has at least 2 retakes because he failed to balance on returning to class. But for the courses where he managed to get the time to do work, he has been performing well.
He goes on to emphasize the need for students to play a big role to ensure excellence, since the university does not provide it all.
The university does what it's supposed to do. First, universities are not technical schools. Because they're not technical schools, you have to do research. You also have to do teaching. So as far as the university is concerned, at least
Dr. Lukanda acknowledges the role played by the Department of Journalism and Communication in ensuring that students get skills.
To support the government-sponsored students to do their internship by giving them some money. Not so much, but they give them some money which can help them to stay fairly comfortable during their internship.
Hannah, currently a television presenter at UBC, shares with us her journey while at campus in relation to engaging in part-time field-related activities. She highlights the benefits of these in relation to her profession.
So when I was in university, I did quite a number of part-time jobs because I wanted to get experience in the media field. I did part-time radio on 104.1 Power FM, I think from around my year 1 till year 4. And I was doing a Sunday request show. So that means I had time to do my schoolwork during the week, and in the weekend, I was doing radio. Later, around my year 3, I got another opportunity to do TV on UBC TV. So I was shooting some days during the week, some days on the weekend, but it was still a flexible schedule where I was able to attend school, but also still be able to work my part-time jobs and still be able to shine in the industry.
She highlights the benefits of these in relation to her profession.
These part-time employment opportunities in the media. By the time I was graduating, I already had 2 jobs in broadcast mainstream media. Even now, when I'm acting as a freelance journalist, I'm still able to get other opportunities in the industry. And I think just really being in the space gives you a push, compared to just any other journalist or young student. And I think that's why I always encourage so many student journalists to always find opportunities, volunteer, go out there, get yourself these opportunities, that by the time you finish school, you have the jobs waiting for you. I have never been unemployed after university, even while at university, because I entered the space a bit earlier.
Alina Itwe narrates the challenges she faced in balancing the two, since they are totally different worlds.
Balancing school and work was definitely one of my biggest challenges as a part-time student and a part-time worker in the field. There were times where I had to be on set, but I couldn't because I had an examination. There were times where I had to travel and shoot a story or a documentary, and I couldn't do that because I was in class. There were times I was in class and I couldn't be able to go and shoot. Those are very common.
She urges the current university students to embrace part-time jobs related to their field of study.
To the current students that are hesitating to take on part-time opportunities while still at school, please wake up. This is an opportunity for you to break into the media space. Get the networks, get the connections, build your sources, so that by the time you're finished with your course, you are instantly connected to the industry. You will not even be struggling to get a job because the job would already have found you wherever you are. So don't think twice, get into this space, capture the space.
Projects that have pushed me to getting the job, to getting the confidence I'm using in field, to retaining and growing at my current job. So this was occupying, I think, 20% to 40% of my semester.
He highlights on some of the activities that he went through while at campus.
I think throughout my university time I was over-engaged. Right off from leadership, from student initiatives, from the other activities that lecturers think are good for you. So it wasn't full-time academics. Some was field work. To begin with, I was elected the head of students. That may not sound great until you realize there is a lot of work to do, ranging from workshops. For example, we had field visits in Fort Portal, Uganda, where we are doing a round of hospital equipment and a round of maintenance. So this did not leave me the way I think I was. Now, apart from that, there was a lot to do with medical exchange programs. One was with Case Western Reserve University in the US, the other one with Duke University students. These were innovation programs.
He says many who skipped the activities now struggle to find their way.
Get to know that the field changes with time, and once you keep just with theory, you will not catch up, and at the end of it all, the world itself will leave you behind. So there is much to learn beyond the theory. Of course, you keep the main thing main, like academia, but then you also have to go ahead and push to get the hands-on skills, to get the self-initiatives, to get the appreciation on work and in field, to get to know how to interact with your fellow workmates, to get to know how to grow in a team, how to be encouraged, how to handle pressure, and stuff like that. So basically, it has been a process of learning, getting acquainted with field, and getting to appreciate where exactly do I apply this, because I know as a matter of fact, many students graduate not knowing exactly what they will do.
Uganda faces a persistent and complex youth unemployment crisis, with rates consistently among the highest in sub-Saharan Africa. According to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, youth unemployment stands at over 17.9%, and unemployment affects even more young people. Each year, universities like Makerere University produce thousands of graduates, over 39,000 between 2023 and 2025 alone. Yet many leave campus ill-equipped for the demands of an increasingly competitive job market. The traditional model of university education, heavily focused on theoretical instruction, is failing to keep pace with employer expectations, which now demand hands-on experience, critical thinking, and professional readiness. Graduates without relevant work experience often find themselves trapped in cycles of joblessness or forced into unrelated fields. A Makerere University study by Joseph C. Onyu found that 66.4% of teacher trainees who took on part-time teaching during their studies transitioned faster into full-time employment. UNESCO also emphasizes that internships, apprenticeships, and field-based engagements significantly improve a graduate's chances of securing meaningful work. From law to journalism to tech, Uganda is seeing the rise of initiatives like the Moot Code Program and the Media Challenge Initiative, and innovation bootcamps, all designed to bridge the gap between academic theory and real-world practice. These programs don't just build technical skills, they nurture teamwork, communication, leadership, and adaptability qualities employers increasingly rank as essential. But despite the gains, challenges remain. Cultural attitudes, rigid university schedules, and lack of structured internship frameworks continue to limit participation. To understand the ethical dimension of graduate employability, we spoke to Mr. Manuel from the Directorate of Ethics and Integrity under the Office of the President. He shared the Directorate's position on fairness, opportunity, and the structural challenges facing young graduates in Uganda. Mr. Manuel believes high unemployment is partly due to the education system itself, with many students taking administrative courses that face limited job openings. He notes that not all institutions can offer practical training as they work within fixed mandates. Still, internship and graduate trainee programs are mandatory in most tertiary institutions, giving students a pathway to gain experience. While some believe connections help secure jobs, Mr. Manuel insists that public service recruitment is merit-based, with structured testing in place. He highlights the National Ethical Values Policy promotes integrity, fairness, and equal opportunity. The Directorate encourages open access, ethical leadership, and a transparent system where every qualified Ugandan has a fair chance. Based on research and the above interviews, it's 100% clear that in all professions, media to discipline, photography to finance, students who take initiative are landing jobs faster, earning more, and entering the workforce prepared. Hence, a degree may open the door, but it's what students do beyond the classroom that gets them through it. Because in today's world, it takes more than a degree.